Now I have a tragic murder at Warsaw story, which is very funny now, but it actually wasn't back then. Kind of has become this meme locally because it's pretty insane. But you know, when you get killed turn 0 after you have traveled 1.2 thousand kilometers down south all the way to Poland, and then you drop out from the tournament after that. In Flesh and Blood, generally, unlike other card games, it starts pretty explosively because you use just resources to meet your cards are resources. So if you spend them as offensively or defensively, you don't have that anymore. Or if you spend them as resource, they come later back to your hand. So what that tends to do is that the power curves evens themselves out, eventually. But the deck I play, it can get a bit more explosive than that, and because the damage it dishes out is multiplicative, and you can do that at instant speed with some expense. And the deck also runs, draws and opts that are like scries in Magic the Gathering. I can get more consistent with it. And as the deck plays their cards from top deck at instant speed, you can refund the costs with additional draws. You can kill your opponent on turn 0. And whether it's turn 0 and not turn 1 is because in Flesh and Blood, the first turn, the player who chooses to go first, or has to go first, depends on the deck, you get to attack, and your opponent gets to block, and then you both draw back to 4 cards at the end of the turn, and then you start playing normally where you only draw back to 4 cards at the end of your turn. The table we were playing was, I think it was 2-2, both of us were 2-2. I dropped unluckily one game and I failed one pitch that game, which the opponent had actually practiced with the Polish national champion, so he knew what I was doing pretty well, so props to that guy. It was a fun game because it was also the main tournament of the trip. So I was playing Ninja, Katsu, and I was playing my Kano deck, Wizard deck. I won the die roll and opted to go second. Also, as a note, the guy, he played another local friend the game before me, because there was hundreds of people at the tournament, and to play your local guys, there were 4 of us, twice in a row. It's pretty unlucky, I gotta say. When the game started, he swung at me with, I believe it was Search and Strike. It was a pretty good turn from him too. Then I reacted to that by activating my hero power, which let me check the top card of my deck and decide if I want to banish it or not. And it was either Wildfire, which is my combo starter that multiplies all the damage I deal after that with the damage it deals. So yeah, of course I'll banish that and then I'll just sit on it. And he was like, okay, well, my turn is pretty good anyways, and I'm kind of low on Arcane Barrier. I can't block too much damage because this is a kind of rush down matchup. So then he threw all his hand at me, and I was like, fuck, okay, fine. I'm using all my cards, uses a damage and not block a single one, because I have 3 blues, which is the most resources, and 1 yellow, which is the second most resources, which is a good hand to go with. Then I shot my other Wildfire, but before I shot it, I obviously checked another card from the top of my deck. And that card was the Tome of Aetherwind, which let me draw 2 cards. And then basically get like 1 card for free, because you need to spend 1 card to activate the hero. So I drew 2, I was 2 blues. Hella lucky. I checked my hero power again, and that was Blazing Ether, which is my combo finisher, because it doubles basically the damage that I have dealt that turn. I should say it deals the damage as much as I have dealt that turn, plus the multiplication of first spell of the damage that deals. I activate my hero again because I need a middle spell. I got plenty of resources. Any spell it is basically my bread and butter combo, which deals, depending on what the middle spell is, it's like 31 to 38 damage, and he have 40 life to begin with the game, which is, it's just game over at this point. So insult to injury, the next card was Gaze of Ages, which let me opt or scry 2. If I have casted Wizard spell before it resolves, it comes back to my hand, so it's free. So I put the other Wildfire in stack, and then played the Gaze of Ages, and I opted 1 card bottom and 1 card up, and the card I left up was another Blazing Aether. So that combo is, because I get to use all my resources to shoot it, it's 6 plus 12 plus 18 plus 6, so 24, 42 damage. Yeah, so I got that, and I just, the first moment I saw the first either Wildfire, I just couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, okay, this is not gonna be a game. This is just dumb. It didn't feel good to me. Then I saw the Blazing Aether, and it just felt worse. And I was just making an expression of alongside, and I was like, dude. And he was like, well, what is it? And then I'm like, okay, take this out of the Wildfire. Now we'll see if we get more. I'm like, second Blazing Aether. I'm like, okay, dude, what the hell? And then he was like, am I dead? I was like, yeah, definitely dead. I was like, okay, very nice, I'll drop out my tournament, good game. And I mean, he was good sport about it, but obviously kind of tilted, because the odds of that happening is very slim. And I wasn't feeling good about that either, because I killed a friend who came all the way to Poland to play turn 0 before he could play basically anything. Just 3 cards on the stack, and then that's the game. Then we shook hands, got out from that, discussed a bit about the game, and at Flesh and Blood you have 50 minutes to play the game, then there is 5 rounds. And then we decide who is the winner. There's no ties. The game lasted 2 minutes and 40 seconds, I believe. Under 3 minutes, basically. So we got up and walked out of the gym we were playing, or like that conference hall. And people were like watching, like, what the hell happened. And another friend was playing their game. They were still basically shuffling after the sideboard, because in Flesh and Blood it's the best of 1 in the sideboard before the game. So he was like, what happened? And I was like, I won. I was like, oh, okay. And then we just went to the grocery store, bought some food, and got back to the area, discussed a bit about the game, and now it's just kind of a meme. Well, that was something else. To go to a big tournament to another country, which isn't very cheap, and you get blasted out by a friend turn 0. Shit happens, you know.